welcome, I'd rather say, because Aloin is very, very German, and welcome is not so German. Do you notice something? I fucking fixed my webcam. I really didn't fix it. I clicked one button called Reset to Defaults. And look at it! It looks amazing. Shamazing. I know, I mean, amazing, it's maybe a little too much, but it never has looked as good. And it does everything automatically now. I don't know why I didn't do that before. Or I do know, because there's a little more lag, you see, when I move around, but now you'll never have to watch at my glowing red beard again, or see me half in the dark, even while it's so bright outside. I fixed my light. I'm fucking happy. Yay! Good morning, Shiroxy. Hi. So, now that we have that out of the way, let's begin. No, not begin, but keep on going with this game. What's the best save now? What do I want to do? We have unbroken the levee. But it's... Oh, have we not? I know we did that twice. No Gothic today, Griffin. Sunday is the Torment Tides of Numenera. Today is Sunday, right? Sunday is Torment Tides of Numenera. Gothic is Wednesdays and Thursdays. Sorry, I thought I made that clear. If not, I deeply apologize. So you have to bear with me with playing a whole different game, but one that, to me personally, is even better. Just saying. Aber Griffin, Wasser ist Leben. So viel sollst du schon mal haben. So, a little Zusammenfassung. I always forget the word. Not conclusion. A summary. A little summary. What have we done so far? Summary. Exactly, Shiroxy. Thank you. I know I'm still overlarge, but let's get back to that. We have done everything with Finzen now, I think. Or have we? Yes. Just so you are up to date, our current main objective, our main quest here is the Code Calculating Jack. Apparently, a cast-off helped build the resonance chamber. This is where we pummeled into. Good morning, cute withouty! No, I couldn't, because it's the English stream today. And the whole... oh, I thought I was small. The whole game... This is the deal I made with myself. Playing Sundays in English. So, no. You can write German, that's no problem. Good morning, cute! Without E. Our main current super quest. Apparently. Okay, yeah, where we pummeled into the resonance chamber. This we broke that with our own body. We are kind of invincible, but we can die sometimes. But that's rare. And we fell from the sky at the beginning of the game. We don't really know how. We know we're one of the last cast-offs. Or we are one of the cast-offs, and we are the last cast-off. The current, the newest cast-off. And cast-offs are shells with new consciousnesses that the Changing God produces. But we don't know if he wanted to do that, or it's just a byproduct of him switching vessels. So the Changing God made himself really immortal this way, and So, yes, we are one of the cast-offs, and our current objective is Kasmin and Mimian. Those two are from the cult of the Changing Guard. Don't know the name of this mysterious artificer, but the other cast-offs might. Only one of my siblings is presently in the city, an albino assassin named Matkina. Perhaps she can give me the answers. Kasmin and Mimian described Matkina as pale-skinned and very, very dangerous. She's known in the city as the White Death. Matkina was most recently sighted in Underbelly, so the people of that district might know where she's hiding. Underbelly is kind of the ghetto and slash work district here in Sargus Cliffs. And we have some secondary quests, but I think let's talk about them when we get to them. So we are looking for Matkina, and we have, this is what we did just at the end of the last stream. We wanted to find a cure, you could say, for this fella here, the Tormented Levy. Levies are the guards in the city, and each of them is raised with one life of one of the inhabitants of the city. So the inhabitants have to sacrifice 1 year of their life. We don't know how that's done, but it's done. And this year makes one levy who lives 1 year, and sometimes they get a bad year. And see, this Finzen, who was kind of an thug and is now a baker, has given him this Tormented Levy one of the bad years. And he's got a better life now because this year is gone and he changed his life, he became a baker. And him, on the other hand, lives through what he never did. It never happened, but he still feels like he himself burned a house down and killed some people. And he doesn't like that. And he can't live with it. And that's why we are trying to fix him by going to the Aeon Priests and finding a cure or something. Who the fuck? Hands off your pouches, I ain't here for you.
Of course.
Okie dokie. So, loot. Let's get that loot. Take all that loot. And we have seen this before.
Yes.
Because I started this quest again because it didn't go the way all of us wanted. Kitty cat, meow meow. On-screen kiss. Our first time. Was ist bloß Ende gefahren? So, we don't know what's here. There's Loss of Self. She's an interesting character. I played through that game before. So sometimes, you know, that I know what everyone here is doing. It wasn't on screen. Whew. That was close. What frägst du dich auch, Griffin? This young woman clutches herself and growls low and continuously under her breath. Pearly white light shimmers from a vial on her wrist, and her eyes are red-rimmed, as if she's been crying. You've never seen her before, and yet your hands are sweating, and your breath catches in your inherited chest. Shame burns your throat, hot and sour. Your body recognizes her, even if you do not. How does she sound like? Leave me alone, she mutters, and it's a moment before you realize she's not talking to you. You took my face, stole my family, whispered me in my own voice. Isn't that enough? Isn't that... She breaks off when she sees you. She's in my head and she won't shut up. Talk loud, talk over her so I can hear you. Rhin is a slave girl we are looking for, one of the slavers here in Sargus Cliffs, but slavery, it's still maybe not ethically correct what they are doing here, but it's not slavery as we know it. It's when they get incarcerated, when they have done something bad, they have to work for someone for some years, and then they are free. So like our current jail system, a little, but with more work, I think. And we are looking for Rhin, for one of the slavers, or the only chief slaver, I don't know. And so yeah, that's Rhin, just so you know who that name belongs to. Yeah, pretty much still slavery, but different. This is our new slogan, slavery, but different. Rhin?
I'll remember that.
The little girl? I've seen her crawling into the ruined house over there. I've been worried about her, but I've had my own problems lately. You hear, Rhin again? You hear a woman in your head? What's the shining up? Woman in your head? Yes. Biting the word like an enemy's throat. Now stop talking about her. It brings her forward and she clings. She whines and she won't stop, so please stop talking about her. Sorry, but I want to hear about the woman in your head. No. Every time I think about her, she inches closer to me. Pulls on my arm, stuck asking about her, please! Okay, what's that shiny object? Hello, together! We belong together. Kitty cat, I have learned our on-screen kiss wasn't on screen. Nobody saw us. Ooh, naughty. She flinches, but reveals the vial strapped to her wrist. It glows with an inner light, and the tiny ripples within seem to cast moving shadows on her palm. I woke up one night in a building I'd never seen before. I found this beneath a pile of blackened scales. If you shake it, it makes a picture. Watch. She jiggles the vial and holds up her other hand. Indistinct shadows mimic the motion on her palm. Yeah, isn't it? Kitty cat. You can see everything and everyone and nothing behind me, so you don't see the green screen. It's perfect. Just read it. You... Okay, cute without E. Maybe every one of those who are new here today, you maybe don't know it yet, but you can choose the choices that I make here, or we are making it together, and Q without E is for choice 1. If you have a different opinion, you can write me that, comment in the comments, in the chat, and then we'll see what we're doing. But if you say so, if all of you are for option number 1, without even asking about it, okay, that's a dangerous weapon, you should give it to me. We don't have... we can't use effort anymore, so... Stealthy check! I don't know, I don't think... It's 45% of success. No success. She hesitates, then covers the vial with her hand. I don't know what it is, but it's mine. I'll take the risk. Okay, why are you holding on to it? Because I feel like Because I feel like it was mine. She blurts, then grimaces, as if the words escaped without her permission. At any rate, it's mine now, and I don't need more of a reason than that. It's not that it's important. I just feel better holding it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. I don't know if we are getting any anywhere with her. Okay.
Let's go.
Thanks for the talk, loss of self. We will get back to her when... Griffin. Maybe you don't understand everything. Maybe you don't like my English, whatever. But you still like Wasser ist Leben. So, Prost, Prösterchen, Griffin. And you're still here. That shows true commitment. Yeah, it's a pity, but we can retry with one intellect point, but none of us has one of those, so we will get back to her later.
Action!
To action, Eritus!
Is there more danger? So be it.
Why are you so... Okay.
You're actually kind of dim beneath those golden sparks, aren't you?
Sparks? What sparks?
Theory confirmed.
No, nothing, cutie cat, but... This cup? Since when? Since, Mestemba gave it to me. For... Was it my birthday, cutie cat? Maybe it was my brother. My brother? Yeah, it's old. You've never seen it before? Weird. Maybe I held it the wrong way and you didn't notice it. But I have used it the last many streams. So let's find
I'm
Rhin.
going.
Or maybe we should have rested before, so we have more intellect points. They might be important now. Let's see. But I am a forgetter. I don't know how the song goes. This house was reduced to rubble when part of the cliff face collapsed. There's evidence that squatters have slept here recently. A ragged blanket, rotted fruit peelings, and footprints in the dust itself. Something scratches deep within the rubble. It sounds like someone or something is in there. No, not a real song. Don't you know? Midnight player. Sun. You know the song? And I just used forgetter instead of one of the other words, and I don't know any other words, so this whole thing made no sense. Okay. Hello? The rubble makes no response. How could it? It's rubble. Dig deeper. Ooh, it zoomed. You crawl partway inside, pushing aside boards and a thin slab of slate. A small girl gasps, throwing up a hand to block the sudden light. She's young, no more than 10 or 11 years old. She has made herself as small as possible to fit inside the tiny gap in the rubble. Her hair is dark and curly. She pulls herself deeper into the rubble, away from you. What's the first thing we should say to her? I have... my noses. Who needs them? What should we say to her? Sometimes I just don't ask you so you are active, but also because I don't know what I would do. So please help. I would... The third one sounds shady to me. If the first thing someone says to me, I won't hurt you, the first thing I would think is that they will hurt me. So I wouldn't say that. So So I would decide on maybe the first option. Who are you? I am blah blah blah. So build a trusting relationship at first. Okay, I'll say one now. Who are you? She puts a finger to her lips, then tries to shoo you away. You hear a voice behind you. I told you patience would pay off, lads. Some thugs stroll over. They all carry weapons at their sides, though they walk with the cocky assurance of those who don't expect to need them. I swear I checked this hovel, says one of them. She wasn't here, no one was. How did this draft find her so easily? He gestures dismissively in your direction. No. Don't fret, beggar. The thug looks you up and down, then calls out in the direction of the rubble. Come on, little boy. Doesn't matter how good you are hiding. You have to come out sometime. Sorry. The girl huddles behind you, keeping you between her and the thugs. Even so, it's obvious she's not sure about you either.
Don't let them take me, please!
Oh, schnizzles. I think the whole interaction is important, so I always just wait some seconds before I make my choice, but if we don't say anything after these seconds, I just do what I do. Okay. Why don't you want to go with them? One of the men interrupts. She's lost. The little urchin ran away from her home. Her mother asked us to find her and bring her back safely. I don't think that's true. But is that true? No! They are bad men. They want to steal me. Kidnap us? No, that's just crude. We're delivery men, that's all. The means and motivations of our employers ain't none of our business. Dropping his facade, he turns to you with a look that pleads for understanding. But, alright, yeah, there is a slaver who put up a fine bounty if we bring her back. It's all legal and none of your business. Best you stay out of it. He says the words kindly enough, but his colleagues' hands are on their weapons. You can't take me. Her grip on your wrist tightens. He found me. He has the discoverer's right. He raises an eyebrow, a bemused smirk playing on his face. Und das, I thought that's... Und ich dachte, das ist ja gerade das, was Spaß daran macht, Griffin, dass du nicht weißt, was passiert. Aber klar, gut, dann weiß ich schon mal, dass ich auf nur noch Cutie Cat, Cute Without E und Shroxy warten muss. Deswegen danke für die Info. Is that so? Well, Spider Jack, what do you say? Is she coming with us, or are we taking her from you? I would advise against these three options because we don't have any intellect left to use intimidation, persuasion, or deception. But we have our own assignment about finding Rhin, so this looks like a rather safe bet. Don't let them take her? Okay. So I know what's our goal here. Was your bounty put up by Torment? She asked me to find the girl. He wipes his face with on one hand. So it's a competition, is it? Well, that don't change anything. We gotta eat too. Yes, that's what it was. Because I know there is some other place where we can rest for free. Intimidation, maybe that's might. Maybe that's a good idea. Yes, it's might. Oh, you're smart. Q without E. That's not intellect, that's might. Eritis, are you? Oh, Eritis is. I don't know what he is, but 80%, 85. Oh, 45. 80, and we can do 65%. Okay, Eritis, show them who's boss. Come on! Yes, success. He narrows his eyes. Something in your demeanor sets him off. His eyes widen and he takes a step back. Fine. She ain't worth the trouble anyway. Of course it was. Come on, lads.
Oh, gods, thank you. They were going to take me back to that woman. I've never met anyone so cruel. When she found me the first time she even... My apologies. I'm still out of sorts. You have my thanks and grace, sir.
For a moment it looks like she might hug you, but at the last moment she seems to think better of it and pulls up short a half-dozen steps away. She collects herself, standing straight with her shoulders back, then she nods. The gesture so polite it's almost formal.
My name is Rhin. My home and hearth and bread are yours to use. Except I don't have any of those things.
She blushes then, looking around self-consciously. I think that this is a situation where we can ask her everything, so I won't wait for you. How long were you hiding at that building? She blinks a little, as if confused or surprised at your question. Then she looks around, shifting nervously from foot to foot. This is my place. This is where I sleep. This is your home? She looks at the shattered wreckage. No, this is just where I was staying. I ran away. My home is a long way from here. Where are you from? She looks out at the horizon and makes a vague gesture. Really far away, but I'm not sure exactly which direction. She looks around a little, almost as if she were seeking a familiar landmark. It has to be a long way from here. My home isn't anything like this. There are trees upon trees. The trees here aren't trees-like. The young girl squints off into the distance. After a moment, her eyes go distant, and you realize she probably isn't going to finish her sentence. We're saying something about trees? What? No, I wasn't. Without seeming to realize what she's doing, the girl brushes her hand through her hair, and you see the side of her head has been shaved. Large stitches run along her scalp, holding together an ugly cut longer than her hand. The wound is purple and angry looking, only just beginning to heal. It can't be more than a week old. What was that all about? I know in my last game, Rhin might have been my favorite companion. We could take her with us, but like I said, I already played with Rhin, so we won't take her with us. Yeah. Sorry. What happened to your head? So we are just bursting in with our questions. In a moment, Q without E. Her body grows tense for a moment, her eyes darting around as if deciding whether or not to run away. She glances at the rubble where she had hidden from the thugs. She relaxes, though her eyes are still wary. I was running away. There were some people? Bad people. I ran away and got hurt. Are you okay? She makes a dismissive gesture toward her temple. It's fine. It looks a lot worse than it is. And a lot better than yours, anyway. She smirks, touching the side of her head. The haircut is pretty awful, though, isn't it? I don't think they really needed to shave quite this much, do you? Yes, I think I realized that now. Could it be I said I will not take her with me, and then during that time you wrote take with us. And that's why, so yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it helps switching to laptop, computer, so switching devices or pressing Control F5, or maybe it's just one of these days where Twitch is taking a long time. So we don't tell her it does look pretty ugly, do we? I would love to know what happens then, but we will not tell her that. Okay. Okay, that's fine. She looks up at you for a long moment and slowly lets her smile slip away. Without it, she seems even smaller. She nods gravely. At first it was pretty bad. I couldn't stay awake or stand up. Even talking was hard. But it's a little better every day. It doesn't hurt so much anymore, but sometimes I still get dizzy when I move around too fast. And I forget things. She smiles bravely and touches the side of her head again, pressing with her fingertips. But it's a little better every day, she says again, in exactly the same tone as before, as though she doesn't realize she already said it. It doesn't hurt so much anymore, but sometimes I still get dizzy when I move around too fast, and I forget things. There's a long pause. She stares at you blankly for a moment, her mouth open slightly. Suddenly her eyes lose their vacant look and a grin spreads across her face. I'm just kidding. I mean, I do sometimes forget things, a little, but that was a joke, she says, then blushes a little and looks down sheepishly. Okay, Rhin, I'll believe you. What people were you running away from? She opens her mouth and closes it again. She nods and puts her hand back into her pocket absent-mindedly. I don't really remember. I think they were stealers. No. What's the word? Robbers? They wanted to rob me. Rob me. Okay. Who stitched your head back together after you got hurt? For just a moment, her eyes flash with panic again, and they dart around like she's getting ready to run. Then she touches the side of her head gingerly. I don't remember what happened exactly, but I got away and I ran and I ended up here. Can I help? She shrugs nonchalantly. I don't know, I'm pretty good here. Unless you happen to have any spare food you aren't using, or water, or a blanket, or a new bed, or a house, or, anything at all? Rhin starts out talking with a playful smile on her face, but then her eyes well up. Her voice stays cheerful even as the tears are running down her cheeks. She wipes them away, embarrassed and angry, but her hands are shaking now. There are more tears and words continue to pour out of her. I offer apologies. It's just that I've been hungry for days. I don't know where I am. My head hurts and nothing makes sense. She laughs then, helplessly, with a tinge of trembling panic finally bleeding into her tone. Guards around me. I'm all broken in my head. The moon is wrong, and I'm so tired of being scared all the time. Das habe ich nie gesagt. Im Gegenteil, das sind ja genau die Spiele, die ich spielen möchte. Ich glaube, da haben wir aneinander vorbeigeredet, Griffin. Ich versuche mich daran zu erinnern, woran du dich erinnerst. Genau, und ich glaube, ich meinte, das möchte ich dann vielleicht... Also entweder meinte ich eigentlich, cool, dann kann ich sie ja mal spielen, dann ist es nicht so langweilig, weil ich mag viel vorlesen. Oder vielleicht meinte ich will es nicht spielen, weil jetzt gerade spiele ich schon etwas, bei dem ich so viel vorlesen muss. Und dann irgendwann in ferner Zukunft würde ich es gerne mal spielen. Oder streamen. Die Frage war, muss man da viel lesen? Das war positiv gemeint. Also, gibt es da viel zu lesen oder ist es so wie Diablo, man klickt nur rum? Griffin. Auf jeden Fall liebe ich Spiele, bei denen ich viel lesen muss und viel vorlesen kann. Nee, exactly, Shiroxy. Not only games where I have to read much. And Shantae, in the next couple of Wednesdays, the next Wednesday will be one such a game. Give her a few shins. She blinks at the money in her hand, then looks to you and gives a small, awkward curtsy. Thanks and grace, sir. Truly. Your story doesn't fit. Who fixed up your wound? Who fixed your wound and shaved your head? If you could hardly sit up, how did you keep running? She scowls at you fiercely. I didn't know I was talking to a judge, she says angrily. I told you I can't remember, not for days on either side of whatever happened. Okay, she looks away. I'm sorry I offended you. I'm sorry, Rhin. She gives a wavering smile. Oh, it's not all bad. I found some shimmery berries today, so that means I get to play. I wonder if this will poison me later. That's always exciting. Alright, let's talk about something else. What's a little girl doing all alone here? The girl looks up at you, her forehead creasing a little in irritation. My name is Rhin. But then she hesitates and looks down, blinking. She reaches into her pocket absent-mindedly. Did I forget to tell him that? She stands there, motionless for a second, then stops and looks up at you again. No, I think I did. She looks up at you. I'm sorry, she says. My name is Rhin. My food and fire are yours to use before you go. Where are you from? What happened to your head? There is Q without E. And I because I thought especially you might like it and everyone else who's now watching, there is a comic. I don't know if it's free or if it just was part of the collector's edition of Torment Tides of Numenera, but there is a comic called So Long As You Can See the Moon, about Rhin and Otero, the boy we saw when we stepped into Circus Minor from the Reef of Fallen Worlds after our fight or discussion with Koro, the boy who told us about the city, and we asked him what's in Government Square, and he asked us, are you shitting me? These two met before outside of the city, and this is what the comic is about. It's not long, so if you're interested, so long as you can see the moon. Okay. Let's talk about something else. Why don't you come with us? She looks at each of your companions in turn. I think I would feel safer here. And she's not saying that because we have two dangerous looking companions, but because our party is full. So farewell, Rhin. It feels weird not to take her with us, but
Fine.
I've played with her before, so no. Ooh, What to do, what to do. We could... Ooh. Q without E. I know exactly the sound you're making, but as Twitch takes a long time today, as you have mentioned. Why? Ooh. You know, I have a bad short-term memory. I don't know what I was saying where this ooh could be applied to. Okie dokie, okie dokie. We've done this and that and this and that. We could step into the Fifth Eye Tavern. It's a very cool place. It always inspires me to, when we play Numenera. Ah, the comic! Yes, the comic. Now I remember. This always inspires me to make cool taverns in our Numenera pen and paper as well. But before we step into that, maybe we should find... And I think there is... I think if we go here, it is Cliff's Edge where we are, right? Yes. Then we might find a place where we can... Do you hear the music? Where we can rest for free. Oh. A month's-old layer of dust cakes the sign, which reads, Scholar of the Warren Wind. Judging by the tiles, shingles and bricks that are piled here, these are the remains of collapsed buildings carefully pushed out of sight. Loot! Far below, you can see a ledge jutting out from the cliff face. A collapsed tunnel appears to have been once used to access the strange objects cradled in the corner. We will get to that. No worries. Save. Take loot. Go to Stichus. Proportionally speaking, the creature that laid these eggs must be truly formidable. Yes, I agree.
Doing it now.
Don't worry. See you later, Shiroxy. Guten Hunger. Good hungry. You can find it. Maybe I... Just wait a moment. I think I still have it. And... you can see my screen. Now you can't. So... Documents, RPG, Cipher System, Torment, Torment Extras. No, not here, but comics and art books, blah, blah, blah. I'll just see, and then later I will just send it to you when I... so long as you can see the moon. Yes, it's still here. I will send you that later. Robinception. Oh, you mean this year? Yes. it's always funny, this Robinception. Okay, Torment, don't torment me. Okay. Shall we talk to those kids first or to the Stichus? The continual rise and fall of the pistons on this device suggest a massive mechanical effort. Structural similarity to the present area hinted them. Awesome. Stichus. Okie dokie. To action!
I'll remember that.
And... I just want to see where we can rest for free. Ah. The card of the changing guard, of course, yes, we can rest there. Okay. Later. Partially hidden in the trash of the dump is a strange and frightened creature. It is covered in chitin? Like an insect, but its shell looks thin and soft, and its small and malformed claws seem half-grown. It stares at you from its hiding place and chitters incomprehensibly. Attack it. What are you? The creature makes vague motions with its claws and emits a series of clicks and wet guttural noises. I think that's spot on. Oddly, you smell dust and lightning. Some of the sounds are reminiscent of a human with digestive trouble, but you're fairly certain it's some form of language. How did you get here? It weaves its head and clicks its claws, then pauses as if waiting for a response. The odor of ozone and stale air surrounds you. When you make no reply in its language, it shakes its head vigorously and says nothing more. Where are you from? A series of gurgling sounds emerges from deep inside its belly, punctuated by a concussive grunt, followed by a scent of sparks struck from rocks and metal. It isn't clear whether the Stichus understood you or not. Are you the rogue Stichus? As you speak, you gesture in the direction of the square where you met Lord Wundgen, and the Stichus seems to understand. It shrinks back, raising its deformed claws as if to defend itself. It doesn't seem like it would be much of a threat to anyone. It puffs a minuscule amount of vapor from the spiracles on its head. Something about the creature's behavior is familiar, and you realize that you, or at least the changing guard, have spoken to the beasts before. Not skillfully, but well enough to be understood. Okay, try and remember the language. No success. A murky memory comes to you. You and the Stichus standing over a small device. But what is the device? What is it doing? The memory slips away from you, spinning into the mists of amnesia. Can you tell me anything about this place? The smell of coal dust and rotting metal surrounds you, and it takes you a moment to realize that the Stichus emitted the scent. Huh. I have never been in the situation where we cannot talk to the Sticha. We will leave it alone. We will not attack it. But the original Feuerglatze would now reload until we can talk to the Stichus. Should I do that or should I not do that? Because the trained tidal affinity skill, it takes a while until we have that, I think. But I might be mistaken. Leave it alone, okay.
Making a note.
Scrawny boy in rags reaches out to you as you pass. Sir, please, sir. I know you saw the Stichus hiding in the midden. Please don't tell anyone about him, sir. He's not doing anyone any harm.
I'll remember that.
You saw his hands, they're like human hands. He can't dig like the others. It's not him that bringing down the houses. What's a Stichus? Everybody knows what Sticker are. They're diggers. They make tunnels under the ground. People around here think they're the reason the houses are falling down. He looks back toward the alley. Except this one can't dig, so the other ones kicked him out. At least I think that's what happened. Anyway, and he's all alone, like my sisters and I, so we want to help him. See you. What is the Stickers to you? We found him, sir, my sisters and I, and he was so pitiful, near to starving, near to dying. We've been feeding him old devices and power cells ever since, but we've got to get him out of here. The neighbors will find him soon, and that'll be the end of him. You feed him power cells? Sticker eat electrical energy, and we can't find nearly enough. He's starving. Do we have a plan to help him escape? No, sir. We can't just walk him down the street, or that fat little lord would see him. Not to mention the neighbors, and they'd kill him for sure. I won't tell. People are looking for him. They say he's dangerous. But he's not, sir. I'm telling you, he can't dig. All he wants is to go somewhere safe. Maybe I can find a way. Could you, sir? That would be wonderful. If you can't find... That would be wonderful. If you can't find the other Sticker, maybe they'd help him escape. I heard that some of them are down in the underbelly, but I've never seen them myself. I'll try. Thank you. I had a feeling I could trust you. Good fortune to you, sir. Nim. A little girl in a patched tunic kicks a pebble while reciting in a sing-song voice, joy, 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 sorrow, joy, sorrow, joy, 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 joy. Watch her play. Joy. Yay! She looks up at you. I got 5 in a row! She shrinks back as she realizes that she's talking to someone she doesn't know. My brother usually talks to all the strangers. Can I ask you some questions? Nervous, she glances at the older boy nearby. I guess. Tell me about the game you're playing. It's called Sorrow and Joy. I made it up. She starts kicking the pebble again, first with her left foot, then with her right. You have to kick the rock left, right without stopping. That's joy. If you kick it twice with the same foot, that's sorrow. 5 joys in a row means you win. 5 sorrows in a row, you lose. Is there any reason you use the word sorrow? I don't know, I just like it. Sorrow, sorrow. Joy, joy, joy! Woohoo! What's your name? Is this your house? My name's Nim, and this is my daddy's house, but he's not home right now. Only me and Zebb and Avina and Mittens, the monster, lives here now. We're waiting for Daddy to come back. Who again? Me and Zebb and Avina and my daddy lives here too, but he never comes home. Tell me about Zebb. Zebb is my big brother. He takes care of us. He has a knife. Zebb? Zebb is my brother. He watches out for us until Daddy gets back. Who's Avina? She's my sister who isn't a sister? She plays the flute. Where's your father? No, these are... Here. My name's Nim, and this is my daddy's house, but he's not home right now. Only me and Zebb and Avina and Mittens the monster, the Stichus up there, live here now. We're waiting for Daddy to come back. That's the story. Oh, okay. He's in the Bloom, being a watchman. He's coming back any day now. Where's your father? In the Bloom, for the Memoria Voria. Close, but no cigar. Who's Mittens the monster? He's our friend who lives in the alley. Didn't he tell you his name? Your neighbors? We don't have many neighbors anymore. Most of them went down the... Her brother interrupts. I can tell you about that, sir. Ask me. Nim opens her mouth as if she's going to continue, glances at her brother, and closes it again. Again. Farewell, Nim. Avina, you are playing the flute, I heard. The girl stands outside a crumbling old house, playing the flute. She wears a simple dress, and her golden hair falls past her shoulders. The melody she plays is gentle and soft, but it somehow carries to every corner of the street. Ah, yes, we heard her before. As you approach, she stops playing and smiles up at you with large green eyes. Shins for a song, sir? How much? It's 8 shins for a sad song, and 12 for a happy one. Why are sad songs cheaper than happy songs? Because there are more of them, sir. Sad or happy song? Can I ask you some questions? Alright. Do you feel the same way Zebb does about the Stichus? Oh, the poor thing. We're all taking care of it. The other sticker abandoned it, so now it has no family except us. Please don't tell anyone about it. Zebb would die if anything happened to it. Is this your house? Who lives here? Zebb and Nim and I live here, but it's their father's house. He's away. She looks back at the house. I wish he'd come back and fix it. I think it's going to fall down soon. The house is in bad shape. She points to cracks around the base of the walls. Those weren't here before, and they're getting wider. We don't go inside anymore except to wash or dress, then we come right back out. Where did the father go? A jolly old pirate song. I think we will just hear both, if we can. He said he was going to go work for someone named the Numenera in the Bloom. He was going to be a guard. He said he would come back every now and then, but he hasn't. I don't know what's happened to him. Zebb and Nim. They're my friends. They miss their dad a lot, but we still have fun. Zebb watches out for us, and I'm teaching Nim to play the flute. Tell me about yourself. I was from outside the city, but I've been here with Zebb and Nim since before their dad went away, so now I'm from here. Cool story, bro. I used to be from... Do you know who lived in the house next door? A lady named Scoura. She was a nano-sorceress, but a nice one. She let us look at all the things in her workshop, well, almost everything. There was a room where she said she kept the iron Rhin. We weren't allowed in there. I think maybe something bad happened to her. One day she wasn't there anymore and she didn't say farewell. Scoura? I think we saw her in Circus Minor. What do you know about the iron Rhin? Just that Scoura thought it was dangerous. We never saw it, though. Maybe she was just pretending there was something bad in that room. I don't know. Okay. Play me a song, Avina. Come now. How much? Play me a sad song. Thank you, sir. This one will break your heart. Wow. Maybe a little louder next time, Avina? The girl lowers her flute and looks up at you. Do you want me to play another? Okay, let's listen to this, the happy song. Thank you, sir. This one should give you a lift. Okay. No thank you, farewell. Do we have both of those active now, or just... No. Avina's ditty! Okay. Thank you, Avina, for your ditty.
What do you need?
Oh, we haven't chosen his flex skill. And we should. Persuasion, maybe. Or quick fingers. They can be... Yeah, let's give him quick fingers. That it fits to him. Quick fingers. Fwah! And he doesn't have a flex skill, of course he doesn't.
Forward.
Forward. Whatever. Some way...
On it.
Wrong game. Okie dokie. So we talk to those. Scourer the Wise. Scholar of the Iron Wind. Okie dokie. We will get into the Fifth Eye Tavern in a moment. But first... we...
Of course.
rest. Yes, it was. Aren't you... Q without E, isn't that the best lighting situation that's ever been on this stream? Are you as excited as I am about this? You must be. You must be. I can't think of anyone who's not excited about that. Cheers. Mimian. You return, revered one. How may I assist you today? I would like to sleep here. 40 shins. 40 shins. Ah! Too much! 40 shins. 40 shins? How much did we pay at the Caravanserai? More, right? Wasn't that 20 per
Yes.
character?
Now.
No, Griffin, it's just talking. There's almost no gameplay. You are perfectly right. I'm happy I could make your day, Q without E, with this new lighting. Caravanserai.
I'm going. Alagern, it wouldn't hurt you to smile once in a while.
It would hurt someone, all right.
Your smiles are dangerous. Your laughter must be deadly.
Ah, those two. Let's turn the music a little more down so we sometimes hear other
Of course.
stuff besides the music. Is this your D&D podcast you're listening to? Johnny Be Good Light? Ah! No. Or is it? Tranquility. How expensive is it to rest here? Ah, oh yes. Like a place to sleep? 20 per person. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 80 here, 40 there. I think... there are shins. We have to pay 40 shins now. To sleep. Ah.
All right.
I hate it! Paying to sleep. In Gothic you can just waltz into anyone's room and sleep there. Wake them up even. And they have nothing against it. Ah. Yes, this is the right place.
On it.
Weirdly, it does comfort me a little. Is he listening? Hi, Marian! Hello! I don't think he heard that. Mimian! I would like to sleep here. Okay, so this time for a poll. To sleep or not to sleep? You decide. And to this, he says he understands me. No, it's not vorrätig right now. Weil Mestember already has one. And this will start in 2 weeks. So, not the coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday after the coming Wednesday. And then we will play on Wednesdays Shantae, Risky's Revenge. And on Thursdays we will play 9 Parchments with Ilbrick Sackville, my good friend who paid his Flämmchen to for the co-op Wunsch. So Gothic after next week. Next week is for the time being. We make a longer Gothic break. It has been. I think Gothic is my longest stream today, and you know where I am, just in Jakenda, chapter 2. So it's time for eine Auszeit für a while. What are those? Flämmchen, you mean? Oh, what's one? Oh, I can see it on my screen. Sleep, you butt! Okay. I'll pay.
Ah, much better.
Just a reminder, lad. Riz will be dead by the day after tomorrow if we don't do anything to save him. Oh, thanks for the reminder. Maybe we should save Riz. Because this doesn't look pleasant here. Shantae Risky's Revenge is a 2D action platformer in the vein of other action platformers. And 9 Parchments is similar to Magica. Magica meets Trine. It's a top-down spell brawler, shoot 'em up with spells, play, yeah. Those are the games. So Shantae, Shantae, Risky's Revenge, or
Eratus. Yes, Eratus? I was just thinking how wonderful it would be if there were 3 of us.
9 Parchments. 9, like the number 9, and Parchments like the parchments. Okay. Talk to Riz? No, I don't think he. No. Yin the Overseer. Let's give him the writ. Oh, what's it called? The official gives you an annoyed look. What is it now? This man has a full pardon. Release him immediately.
Making a note.
He scowls at you. We're here before and you didn't have that badge. Do you work for the city or not? I didn't know if it was I was undercover before, testing you. You did very well, but now I want this man released. Immediately. Tibia, isn't that where you shine? Let's try it. 85%. It worked! He gives you a skeptical glance, then looks over the stay of execution. Paying close attention to the signature, finally he shrugs. Fine. One moment. He turns and calls to the levies. Unmake the death of the condemned and set him free. He is pardoned. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. He turns back to you and bows. There you are, sir, all taken care of. Oh, wait. He reaches into his robes and pulls out a smallish bundle. And here are his personal effects, which we're going to give to the poor. Okay. This simple garment is fashioned from the hide of an avatrol. I have seen this somewhere else and I read through this text already. Oh, more. A rapier. The slim, sharp sword requires greater precision than a broadsword, but is utterly lethal in the right hands. A decorative hilt protects the wielder's hands. Okay, thank you.
I'm ready to learn something new.
Ooh, you are. Tyber's opinion of us has improved. I am still... This loss of self, girl. We made the mistake. Like I said, I would have reloaded if you weren't here. But I have to live with it now. You too. It might be that we can't help loss of self, who's in Cliff's Edge, on the edge. Ah, no biggie. As the levies march off and the crowd disperses, Rhin steadies himself, not quite recovered from his ordeal. Finally, he raises his head and focuses on you. If you're the one who got me out of that nightmare, thank you. Or where's that? His eyes settle on Tibia. There you are, you slippery bastard. Now where's the money? If I went through all that hell for nothing, He chokes with emotion. 2 days, Tibia. I spilled my guts up there for 2 whole days. There's hardly anything left of me. He steps back, spreading his hands. Yes, about the money. You see, Rhin, I was hoping to get a reward for turning in the fellow who sold us that brandy without telling us about its secrets. But... There's always a but when it comes to money, isn't there? I should have known. You only said you'd pay me so I wouldn't squeal on you, and you only saved my skin to save your own. Now, am I going to have to fight through your friend to get to you, or are you going to step out from behind him and take it like a man? Calm down, both of you. Rhin, tell it from the beginning. Rhin spits, then wipes his lips. There isn't much to tell. Captain Silvertongue here talked me into a dirty job, then disappeared like an abacus and left me holding the bag when it all went sour. Oh, Rhin, can you blame me for running when I had a chance? You would have done the same. And besides, if I hadn't, we would have been both sentenced to die with no one to free either of us. He stabs a finger in Tiber's face. You only wanted to free me because you knew you'd be next on the block once the Devourer ate me. What was the job? Tibia said we were transporting black market booze to Mrajolos. But he didn't tell me that he'd hidden state secrets in one of the bottles using some liquid Numenera trick, which turned a slap on the wrist crime into a damn death sentence. Death sentence? You're alive, aren't you? He glares at Tibia from under lowered brows. That's as may be, but you certainly seem to know when the levies were going to come calling. He looks at you. The council somehow got wind of the deal and came after us. Funny how I was the only one home when they knocked on the door. Is this true, Tibia? As far as it goes, he would have learned about me if he had eaten Rhys, and I did manage to escape the levies when they showed up looking for us, but I didn't abandon you, lad. He puts his hand to his heart. Rhys, I escaped the levies and saved you from the devourer of wrongs because I love you and did not want to see you die. You have to believe me. Do I? That was lame. Pathetic. Oh, yeah. Okay. Rhys says, cracking his knuckles. So what do you intend to do about this, Rhys? Is this going to be a fight? He looks like he's seriously considering it, but then shakes his head. Not now. Not alone. But I know a few others who the captain owes. Now that he's rich, we might make a party of it one night. Rhys, you don't know what you're talking about. I never got paid, I promise you. This isn't over, you self-serving bastard. Hide behind your friend if you like, but he won't keep you safe forever. Yes, we will. You're dead, Tibia, do you hear me? Dead! Okay, Tibia. Did this go the way you planned?
Thanks for helping me free Rhys, lad. Not that the little ingrate appreciated it.
So was it like Rhys said? I'd be a liar if I said that wasn't part of it. But I really do care for the boy and wouldn't wish him harm for all the world. And I could have run. I could have. Do you think he will make good on his threats? I wouldn't worry about it. Rhys doesn't have as many friends as he thinks he does. I was practically the only one. One? I'm afraid I'm... You mean this year? To be honest, I think the same way here. I'm afraid I'm inclined to believe Rhys' side of the story. No! Oh, okay. So... just... not talk about it anymore? Let me ask you something else, or are we saying Tibia is a good friend? Okay, that was from before. Sorry. 3. Okay, let me ask you something else. Certainly. Again. How you holding up? I'm fine, lad. I just hope you won't regret our friendship when the time comes to part ways. Okay. Hallo in Enelum! Guten Tag! Just so you know, heute ist der English-Stream. Torment Tides of Numenera nur auf Englisch, weil sowieso so viel Text hier ist und alles nur Englisch gesprochen wird. Deswegen... Oh, dann weißt du schon mal, wenn du dich nicht dran erinnert hast. Aber du kannst Deutsch schreiben, kein Problem. Aber jetzt, wo du da bist, es scheint irgendwie eine Connection zwischen dir und meiner Blase zu geben, merke ich gerade. Ich muss eben in die Pipi-Pause gehen. Dringendst. Wir sehen uns gleich wieder. Sorry, dass ich gerade jetzt weggehe, aber es dauert ja nicht lang. 90 Sekunden. Bis gleich! Welcome. Excusez-moi. One thing that didn't change, Enelum. Wasser ist still Leben. Prost. Jetzt, da ihr alle hier versammelt seid, einmal kurz. Am kommenden Donnerstag, the coming Thursday, we will not play Gothic 2, Night of the Raven, but we will play 9 Parchments, together with Ilberic Sackville in my first co-op stream. He used his Flämmchen for the co-op Wunsch. And just so you know, Wednesday Gothic 2, Thursday 9 Parchments, Sunday Torment, And the Wednesday after that is Shantae Risky's Revenge. And then again, 9 Parchments, Torment. So we make, after the next Wednesday stream, we make a short Gothic break. After, let me see. This then will be my 19th Gothic 2 stream. No, my 20th. Yes, so after 20 Gothic 2 streams, we'll make a short Gothic 2 break. Well, I don't know how short it will be, but it will be a break until we have finished Shantae Risky's Revenge and 9 Parchments, because these two, Mestemba wished for Shantae and Ilbrick for 9 Parchments. They don't have that much time anymore to see my stream because they are getting a new baby, a new child, in I think June or July. So until then we have to finish their wishes. So that's why. But das wäre nicht dein erstes Mal, richtig, Enno? Aber nur weil ich das jetzt hier jeden Sonntag mache. Ich muss sagen, das hilft schon einiges. Ich weiß noch, mein erster Stream, das hat echt lang gedauert, bis ich da in das Englisch reinkomme. Aber jetzt ist es irgendwie so ein bisschen drin. Und das trainiert wirklich ein bisschen mehr, als ich auch vorher dachte. Auch wenn es schwierig ist, diese ganzen komischen Texte zu lesen manchmal, weil vor allem das manchmal die Texte sind ja alle so gemacht, dass man sie gut lesen kann, aber nicht wie bei einem Skript, dass man es auch gut aussprechen kann. Ja, und dann verhedder ich mich manchmal. Aber ja, Dankeschön. Let's continue. Why are we here? Yes, we helped Riz. Completed. Stay of execution. A man named Tiberius' ploy worked, and Riz was set free. Unfortunately, the reunion between friends wasn't as happy as I expected. Riz seems to think that Tiberius owes him money and... yes, he does. And only set him free to save his own skin. If I hadn't been there, Riz might have strangled Tiberius on the spot. That went well. Beloved slave. Ooh, yes. Ah. Ach, du streamst jetzt einen Gothic 2 Playthrough. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Wie ist es denn? Ist es das erste Mal, dass du überhaupt streamst? Is it the first time you're streaming? Enlum is playing Gothic 2, The Night of the Raven, and streaming it. And I wonder if it's the first time he streams something. Tol Magur. There's this girl. Where's my little bird, cast off? You're not getting what I know until you bring her to me. I found her but don't have her with me. Then why are you even talking to me about it? Really, you're wasting your time. And more importantly, mine. Come back when you have the girl. Okay. Oh, Tibia has a level up. Pam. What's he good at? And we too. Yes, Tibia and we have a level up. So Tibia is good at deception already. Quick fingers, maybe more quick fingers. They are handy sometimes. And we don't need deception anymore because he's got it. First, let's give him some more quick fingers. Oh, we can't. Y. S. Okay. Select each option once per tier. Okay. One speech, one intellect. I mean, intellect really is the most important stat here. We can deceive much better if he's got more intellect. Ah! You see that? Convelocity is her... She was called the Searching One, or TSO, TSO, a few weeks back, and she was here at the Soma stream. So I don't think you have ever seen or heard of her before, but does her own streams. I don't think I know that I have her down in my recommended streamers category, and she does art and some pretty cool pictures. It is very fitting to the whole Numenera setting. It's mostly people with too many eyes. And I think it looks pretty cool. So that's Convelocity. And I know that Heldrick knows her personally. Or I know he knew her before. And that's how she got how she noticed my stream. Oh, yes. That's how it went. Ach! Aber nicht nach einem bestimmten Zeitplan, Enno. Das hättest du doch sonst mal erwähnt, das hätte ich doch mal gefragt. So, let's... One speed, one intellect. Okay, and the next time... But okay, confirm. Ooh, issue challenge. Issue challenge. All enemies who fail to resist gain compelled and dazed. They are forced to attack you and receive... Ah. I don't know if I want to force them to attack Tybir. He's not the strongest guy. Tybir shouts a series of sharp-tongued remarks on the appearance and parentage of nearby enemies, drawing their full and furious attention. But that's... This taunting skill in general is pretty good, because the bad thing is Tybir's not a tank. He can't take that much damage, but it's good to have this. One ability, skill with defense. You know how to place a feat, how to angle your shield, and how to deflect your enemy's blows. You dance through combat and none can lay a finger on you. Plus evasion, plus willpower, resourceful. +1 in cipher level use. You know what to... no. Skill with defense. This sounds, especially if he taunts the enemies, skill with defense sounds like the right skill. Okay. Dokie. Now to us. More effort. A new skill. I mean, komisch. Normalerweise frage ich nämlich eigentlich fast jeden, der erstmal hier das erste Mal bei meinem Stream ist, ob die Person auch streamt. Anscheinend habe ich das bei dir einmal vergessen. Es tut mir leid. Aber dass ich das heute gefragt habe, erinnere ich mich zwar auch nicht dran, aber klar, 14 Uhr. Kann ich mal machen. Ja doch, glaube ich, kann ich machen. Müsste passen. Ich merk's mir mal. Hier drin. So. A new skill. I like the... Oh, anamnesis. Would have been great before. I like anamnesis. Let's take that. This way we can... we have it easier to remind, so that our memories come back to us more easily. Okay, okay. Sophie, Potter. Next up. Ah, yes, the Fifth Eye Tavern. Let's go to Cliff's Edge. Macht ja nichts, Enno. Oh, the Underbelly? I ask you, the Underbelly or the Aeon Priests? Should we go into the Fifth Eye Tavern? Into the dirty Underbelly with all the machinery workers? Or to the Aeon Priests in Government Square that are like the smart magicians here in Torment, Tides of Numenera? Dirty Underbelly. I really said dirty Underbelly, right? Well.
I'm ready.
Wasn't the first the dirty Underbelly? Or the tavern? Ah. I don't know. We're in the Underbelly now. Okay. What's that? Tiny dwellings are carved into the rock wall, furnished with reeking bedrolls and bug-infested rags. Interrupting a chat's a good way to get suckered. Or like barging into conversations, huh? What is it? Not going to be a quiet day down here, I can tell. Okay.
It's a plan.
Boah. Too much to see. The Popper is sad. Popeye, the sailor.
I'm ready.
There are two things I want to do before. And nothing new, just I want to fix my mistakes. I totally understand that cute without E. I hope I won't have one tonight. But so far it feels alright. Okay, Q without E. Then adios. See you next time. See you tonight even. And have a nice Sunday. Mwah. Okay, so can we talk to the Stichus now and retry it with our newfound intellect? I hope we can. It might be that we can't. Ark. And I have these urges still, even though I already played all of it. No, we need the title search. Let me just see how long it takes until we find the title search ability. And not title affinity. Okay. Then we will do something else now.
Yes.
We might be able to learn it when we go with Rhin to the slaver, to Tol Magua. Then let's do that. Is it that you...
Yes.
Is it... Do you have... So, is it very laggy today the stream for you as well, Shiraxi? Does it lag behind? Because that's what was with Cute Without E. No, okay. Good. Tybia. Maybe we might need him. Eratus, Elegan. Okay, Eratus. I'll come back to you. Just wait here a minute, okay? Let's flap for now. Now? Really? But we were just getting started. He slumps a little, his glow fading. I'll be here in Cliff's Edge. Meeting strangers, telling stories, doing tricks, seeing how long I can hold my breath. Radiant once more, he waves at you and bolts off. Okay, he's here in Cliff's Edge. I wonder if anyone else crashed an airship. Rhin. Oh, it's you. You should come with me. She looks at the tiny nook she was hiding in, then back at you. Where are you going? Maybe we can find you a doctor, a new home, or the truth. I wonder if we will put a girl into slavery in a few moments. I hope not. Maybe we can find you a doctor. Maybe. But what about those thugs? What if somebody else comes after me or after you? I'm not a fighter, I can't help you. It's dangerous whether you stay here alone or come with me. At least with me you can learn to take care of yourself. I guess so. Alright, I'll do it.
Making a note.
Yes.
Maybe he can help her. He is the chirurgeon. He's supposed to fix wounds like hers. Looks like he can't do anything. Okay.
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way?
This is Rhin. Oh, and Rhin likes the last cast off. He likes us too. Hello, they all like us. Oh, that's just phenomenal.
On it.
Sorry. No, I didn't want to. Okay, wrong way. Is this government square now? Other way. Back. I think it's good that all of them are running so fast. They are Baldur's Gate 1 without mods. They're walking so slowly that the whole game takes 3 times as much as it does with mods or in the enhanced edition.
Have you had a healer look at it?
Oh, yes. I collected every dirty rag and scrap of stale bread I could find to pay her, too.
I'm sorry. Could I donate a rag as charity?
Yes.
Me too. And I don't know why developers do it. There's no advantage of slow characters except that the game takes longer, but it's not more fun.
Let's
Tolmagur.
On it.
Okay. Let's save. Tolmagur. happened? Oh. Yeah, sometimes it does, yeah. But not for each and every word, because you see it's a lot of text. Rhin grabs our wrist and stops walking. She's trembling and staring at Tol Magur, standing atop the platform.
It's her. Don't take me up there. Don't make me go back to her.
She looks at us, her eyes wide and pleading. What did you do to you? She's what's the word? She steals people. Her tone is low and she keeps herself partially hidden behind you. Partially. It's clear she doesn't want to attract attention. She found me, said I was her property. Those thugs who were looking for me, she sent them. But I won't go back. I'm never going back. She meets our gaze. You won't let her have me, right? I'll figure out some way to solve this amicably. I hope. Alright. She seems cautious but trusting.
I'm going.
Ah, there's my little lost bird. Glad you found her. Now, just send her on over here and we'll count this job done. I don't want to go. We need to talk about this, Toll. No, we don't. Just give me the girl and... Fine.
Updated my journal.
I didn't want to tell you this, but... damn it. Here's my dirty secret, and if you tell anyone, I'll burn your flesh and scatter your bones. I'm a cast-off like you. You want to know why I wanted the girl? It's because she helps control the tides in me. She keeps them from slipping out into the world. Without Rhin, everyone around me gets hurt, or even killed. If I use an adult for this, they die. So here's the deal. Give me the kit. I'll teach you how to control your tides better. Don't... and... well, let's not get into don't, eh? Oh, shit. Okay. Normally, I would never, of course, I would never give Rhin to Tol Magur. On the other hand, I don't want her in my party, even though I very much do want her in my party, but like I always said, I already played with her, and I want to play this game with companions I've never played with. So, yeah, no Rhin. Also, we will learn this tidal affinity skill, which will help us with the Stichus and other things. Otherwise, we will have it very, very much later, and we will not be able to do the other stuff. We have to settle this some other way. No, the time for talk is over. She stares at you, and you feel a sudden swirling in your psyche. A cacophony of dueling emotions. She's doing something with the tides, filling you with sickness and despair. The overwhelming compulsion to lie down and sob. She stops, a grim smile on her face. You want an example for what cast-offs can do? You want to know why I want the girl? She stops me from doing that. Now give it to me. Did you just use the tides on me? Is that what you do to Rhin? Frequently. Do you have a problem with it? Okay, you said Rhin. old does she have to be? She shrugs, but she avoids your eyes. I don't know. What I do know is that if I don't use her, others will be hurt. How do you know it won't kill her? She looks away from you, from Rhin. Rhin? I don't know. I can't bear the thought that it might, but these others here, they're my friends. If I lose Rhin, my powers might kill them. Why can't you use your followers? Did you miss the part where adults die if I search into them? Not an option. I don't want to leave a trail of dead and dying in my wake. Apart from being, you know, evil, it raises questions from authority figures. One way or another, you're killing her. She's prepared an angry retort, but it dies on her lips. I don't know. I'll let her go when... Oh, damn it. You should learn how to control your powers better. She spits, not quite at your feet, but certainly near them. Says the caster who can't control his own tides. You could exact some justice. What do you think I am? A vigilante? An oathkeeper? A levy? Keeping the law is someone else's job. My job is slaving. Keep that straight. Release your claim. Ooh, Tiber, you're persuasive. Or Rhin, maybe? Tiber, 50%. 70. 90. Success.
I'll remember that.
Critical success, even. She grits her teeth. Fine. You've convinced me. You can keep her, but you treat her right, you hear? If I get even a hint that you've made Rhin unhappy, I'll track you across the 9th world. She concentrates a moment, and the miasma that filled your mind lifts. You know what? I'll even live up to my part of the bargain. I'm going to teach you about your tides, because it will help you keep Rhin safe. You ready for this? Does it hurt? Her lip hardly curls as she responds. Does it hurt to breathe? To walk? All I'm doing is showing you how to use your inborn power more effectively. She fights to keep the despairing sneer on her face. You know I hate all of this cast of skist, yeah? Alright. So, the changing guard, he made us. Maybe not on purpose, maybe it was just an accident, but he made us. He uses the tides to transfer his mind. You felt them, I'm sure. Surges of power, emotion, whatever. That's the tides. And they are pushing around inside you. You focus them into something, you can make a weapon out of them. Manifests differently for each of us. Most of us don't think about it, but I figure use every tool at your disposal. Close your eyes. Feel that coiling power in you? That's the tides. Now feel this. I'm going to push a little power at you. Try to fight it off. With her eyes closed, you can see the energy emanating from her. A dark and angry spike of red-hued power that drifts toward you. Instinctively, you raise your hand to bat it away, and she snorts. With your mind, use your tides. As the tidal dagger drifts closer, you feel something inside you uncoiling, a vast and restless power, whose depths you can barely comprehend. It's reminiscent of the energy you used to blast the sorrow fragments from your mind, but now you can control it, and you breathe out, pushing her probe away. That's it. That's it. Practice that. We're done. Yes! We have tile affinity! Neistenstein! Prost! Okay. Now that I know you're a caster, let's talk about you a little more. It's not a core part of my identity, you know? I don't walk around thinking, oh, I'm a caster. Let me think about my place in the world. I'm my own person. Got it? But fine. Ask your questions. Do you know anything of the sorrow? The what? She looks genuinely puzzled for a moment. Oh. Oh. You mean that monster that looks like the knight mated with some year-old corpses? I don't. Nothing that would be helpful anyway. I felt it a while back though. Felt like it glanced my way. Felt like it told me, not yet. But no, can't help you with anything about it. Any other casters? I knew Riastrat, Glaive, covered in living metal armor. He had some underworld connections. It didn't end well for him. Last I heard, he scrambled his brain trying to change his past with dodgy Numenera. For the rest of the casters, no. I keep to myself, and I thank you to keep my existence a secret. Do you know anything about Matkina? I've heard the name. I know she trades with a bad crowd. I've never met her. Don't know where she lives or who she knows. Never hope to either. Matkina? No. Sorrow? Nightmare, okay. Why become a slaver? Why? Because it was easy to fall into the life. Because it was a challenge to get good at it. Because I don't particularly care what others think about me. This tattoo? It doesn't define me. I'm not the man who made me. I owe him nothing. I owe you nothing. I owe the world nothing. It's my life and these are my choices. My choices. Because I'm matching myself against the criminal class. Because I don't like people. Because it's not your damn business. My choices are my own and they are not subject to review. What a... What gives you the right to judge others? Ooh. You mean who gives me the right? And the answer's easy. I do. That's the whole point of this exercise, isn't it? My life, my rules. You don't like it, get out of the way. No one's making you deal with me. If you don't have any other epiphanies you want to share with me, I've got some important none of your business to attend to. Tides. What's with Rhin? She caught my pain. When the tides well up in me and overflow, she took the excess and kept me from hurting others. Don't know how, but it was a service. Without her, these others around me, they take the brunt. And while they like the experience in small amounts, an enlarger surge poisons them, lays them low. It's even killed a couple. So the girl's essential to the well-being of those around me. Rhin again? No. Your followers seem a little strange. They are. Rhin filtered, I guess, my tides. I turn my energy outward and makes most people sick. But Rhin changed that. Instead of making them sick, it gave them hallucinations, pleasant dreams, euphoria that improves their days. Right now, they are suffering because I've been bleeding off into them. Slowly. Bad combination. About cast-offs. Tides. Tidal surges. Why? It's different for each of us. I can't tell you how the world looks through your eyes or what something tastes like on your tongue. You got to figure that out on your own. I can't tell you that you don't like meat or that you think, I don't know, fungus is... or that you think, I don't know, fungus is delicious. You see the world your own way. It's what makes you... Why am I even telling you this? It's remedial experiential philosophy. Woo! What? hat dir rumgewhispert und du hast vergessen, ihm mit Whisper zu schreiben? Oder? Okay. Anscheinend. Insider wovon? Hast du auch schon bei seinem Stream vorbeigeschaut, oder wie? Witzig. Und wieso jetzt? Ah, okay. Okay. Title searches. Some other questions. Okay, fair. Well. Sure. Oh, Tybee has something to say.
Yes, lad?
What do you think about Rhin? Oh, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. What foolish notion made you think it was right to bring a little girl with us? People say I'm irresponsible, but this... Hey, I may be little, but at least I'm not a criminal. Was that an insult? I hear it all the time. The word has lost its sting somewhat. Additional questions. How are you holding up? And Rhin again. Okay. Let's... What does that mean? His speech bubble.
Yes,
again,
lad?
let's talk to Tybee. Talk about you. Ah. Another time. Let's get Eritis back and lose our title affinity, a skill for
I'm ready.
loss of self and the Stichus. Griffin, you didn't know, du hast nicht gewusst, dass Enno schon hier noch da war. Ach stimmt, du bist ja auch ganz... Nee, was? Ach, ich weiß auch nicht. Okay. Ihr macht das schon unter euch aus. Snapper-Vorhaut. Okay. Ich weiß mit Snapper-Vorhaut nicht so viel anzufangen, aber ich bin gespannt, was um 14 Uhr, was da passiert. Let's try and...
Why are your tattoos swirling?
They're not.
Yes, they are. They move all the time. Look, they're swirling right now.
How long are we supposed to escort this delightful jewel?
And first, I want to get Eritis back. Where are you? You are supposed to be in Cliff's Edge. There you are. I regret a little. I think Eritis, Elegern, and Rhin would be a very good combination. Because I think they get along really well. And Tybee is kind of an outsider here, but maybe I just have to play through the game a third time in the future to hear their conversations. Eritis. Eritis is puffing out one cheek and the other with fierce, brow-furrowed concentration. The glow about him pulses slowly, like a second heartbeat. He notices you, brightens, and exhales in a rush. I was about to jump off the cliff and swim to the bottom of that sea. I figured I could trap air in different parts of my mouth before it faded away, squish it together, you know. Hey, anything's worth trying once. That's what I thought. We really are a perfect match, you and I. Are you ready for more adventures together? Enough people? Alright, I'll almost definitely still be here later, unless I'm not. Okay, Rhin, do you have any ciphers?
What's going on?
I can steal. Rhin? No, you don't. Okay, Rhin.
What's going on?
What's your story? Your brow furrows, and she clutches her elbow with one hand. You know some of it. Maybe as much as I do. What did you want to know? How did you get to Sargus Cliffs? I can't remember. I remember running and a fire, but it wasn't the right color for a fire. I don't know. Then I just remember being here and nothing making sense anymore. Ah! Habt ihr euch abgesprochen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ich glaube auch. 1. 2. 3. Und für den Rest bin ich gleich wieder da. Enno! Nee. Griffin, die ersten beiden gingen auf dich. Enno, der dritte auf dich. Ich hole dann mal eben noch Wasser. Wir sehen uns gleich wieder. Das ging schnell. 3 habe ich, ne? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Noch 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Noch 5 Stück. Enno, Griffin, die gehen alle auf euch. Und einer noch. Bei Enno geht's weiter? Was meinst du? So. How long have you been away? Only a few weeks, I think. It's hard to remember. When I got hurt, I don't remember the time around then very well. Parents? She looks thunderstruck, as if the thought had never occurred to her before. When she finally speaks, her tone is flat, almost numb. And it's clear that she's talking to herself as much as she's talking to you. They know I'm safe. They can't be here, they have to be safe at home. Rhin brings her hands to her mouth slowly. Her eyes terrified and oddly flat, almost glazed. She turns away from you, speaking to something in her hands, her voice too soft for you to hear. She continues like that for a long time, worried and muttering. You realize she has forgotten you are even there.
I'm sorry about last time. I know we didn't finish our conversation. I offer apologies for my rudeness.
Ach so. Nee, ja. Jetzt verstehe ich, was du meinst. Ja, auf jeden Fall genug Wasser. Was trinkt ihr eigentlich sonst so? Seid ihr auch welche, die fast immer nur Wasser trinken? Oder habt ihr irgendwie immer eine Sprite oder eine Cola oder eine Milch irgendwie im Kühlschrank, die ihr trinkt? Are you okay? Yes, it's just been... I'm not used to talking to anyone except Al about these things. It's harder than I thought it would be, but yes, let's talk. How are you holding up? Before I met you, I asked Al if he could bring someone to help me. I know, it's embarrassing. He's not the right sort of god for that, but then you came. And you're even better than anything a god would bring me. I want to talk about you again. Who's Al? A flash of panic crosses her face. What? No one? Then she sighs and pulls something from her pocket. It's a small, dark stone with a hole in it. She's outside your arm's reach, but she still holds it close to her chest, protectively. This is Al. He keeps me safe. He knows everything of hiding. Okay. They couldn't find you. Why? She grins, and her son smiles like the sun coming out from behind a cloud. We're good at hiding, she says. Ah, the god of hiding. Kaffee, Wasser, Bier, Wein. Also pretty much genauso wie bei mir. Abgesehen vom Weinpart. Enno! Okay, viel Spaß mit der Crawler-Vorhaut. Wenn ihr mich einschätzen müsstet, was für eine Art von Vorhaut hätte ich denn? Oder verstehe ich das Spiel nicht? Where are you from? It's a better place than this. It's safe and warm, and it's a long, long way from here. For a moment, it seems like she's lost in thought, then she starts talking again. There are a lot of trees there. It's full of growing things, and a little village with a tall wall to keep bad things away. And I have parents there. She shakes her head a bit and turns back to focus on you. That's where I belong. That's my home. I have parents there. I am not an orphan. Diese Frage lasse ich unbeantwortet. Danke, Shiroxy. Und verstehe ich nicht. Oh ja, das stimmt. Ziemlich dünne Menschenvorhaut. Kaum für eine Rüstung geeignet. Okay, das klingt realistisch. Gut. It's a lovely town. What's it called? She smiles and opens her mouth to answer. A panicked expression flashes across her face for a moment. Her eyes dart back and forth before she puts one hand to her injured head. It's Baranth. She looks up, her tiny face grave. Yes. It's called Baranth. My village. My home. That's where my parents are. Why do you speak the same language? Good question. She tips her head to the side thoughtfully. I don't know. I guess I could also wonder why you all speak my language. Okay. Where from again? Your friend. Baranth. Let me just see if Baranth is really a real Numenera place. No, it's not. Okay, it's just okay, no, it's not on the 9th world. Okay, I just wanted to know that. She brings the stone up to her ear and cocks her head a bit. Then she looks up at you and gives you a slightly anxious nod. All right, he's fine with a few questions. A few. In Klammern Kälte. Okay, ja. Craft beer is... all the craft beer that I ever tasted is more of an acquired taste. I've never drank one that I liked. It's still Krombacher or Guinness. That's my sort of beer. But craft beer, so far, it was always too sour to me. And I didn't like it. But to each their own. Ooh, which ones, Shiroxy? Which kind of craft beer? Is it... And with all the craft beers that I tasted so far, I have come to know that I just don't like Indian Pale Ale. IPA, not my kind of beer. Blah. I can't help but notice that he's, well, a rock? She puts... He's not a rock, he's a stone. There's a difference. If there wasn't a difference, why would we have two words for them? Unlike IPA. Ah! Yeah, me neither. IPA and Pale Ale. Yes, exactly what I thought. Ah, so they're... So you have ordered something different and not IPA. Because, like I said, that's exactly the kind of beer that I don't like. And every craft beer seems to be an IPA. So far. The ones I have come to know. No. That is a pretty good reason. Anyway, the stone isn't Aal. Aal's a god. He lives inside the stone. Lager. I don't know if I've ever tasted lager. The term for normal beer, Shiroxy, that you're searching for is Pils. Just for your information. But to me, Pils is also just the normal beer. Because we Germans are verwöhnt with beer. So. Body house. Always meant what does it mean that he's a god? What? It's a little like both. It's easier for him to leave than a body, but harder to leave than a house. But either way, the stone isn't really him. It's a little like a cup too. Does that make sense? Those are smart answers. Ah, export. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think I drank export too, but really not that often, and I liked it. And I was afraid that it was that because I thought Indian Pale Ale, maybe export is something we export to India. And that's why I thought that export might taste the same, but it tastes really different. Tonnenzäpfle. Enno, during this stream, Enno, we are really living in your own world. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm glad you're here. You're still welcome. You're just out of my world right now. Tonnenzäpfle. When you say Tannenzäpfle, I think of Rotbäckchen. But there is a difference, I think. Did you hear that? What happened? This is the first time I've ever heard that. Now the music's gone. Huh? And now it's back. Okay, maybe a bug. But I have Windows 8.1, so it's not Windows 10. So yes, the etiquette looks... Etiquette? The cover looks similar, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm not that far off. She makes a wavering gesture with one hand. That's pretty close. It's tricky stuff, and I'm not that great at explaining it. Has Al always been in a stone? Yes, he's a very young god. Older gods have usually lived in many bodies. How old is he? Only a couple of weeks old. He's so strong for a... She breaks off and looks down at her hand. You don't need to be embarrassed. She looks up at you and grins again. Then she says in a stage whisper, he's embarrassed. Okay. What does it mean that he's a god? That is a hard question. Where I come from, there are many gods. Gods of health and hearth and home. Gods of road and Rome. Where I come from, it's a poor family that has no gods of their own. She looks down at the stone in her hand, speaking softly. But here there are no gods. It's like finding a place where people don't know what meat is, or air. How do you explain something like that? And I haven't seen a single god except for Al himself, and he's mine. He simply is. He's my friend. She trails off. Did you bring Al with you? Yeah, me too. About the beer size, I don't have a problem with drinking half a liter of beer, but it also, in the past, I really didn't care if I drank out of a bottle or out of a glass, and I really preferred the bottle. But now I prefer the glass, because in the bottle, all the carbon, Kohlensäure halt, kind of squishes together and makes it all bubbly and so viel Schaum und and that's why I now prefer to drink out of glasses, and I feel that with a 0.5 liter bottle it's even worse, and that's why I totally agree, Shiroxy. 033 for the win. Nice quart of beer, warm and pale. Please. Entweder ist der Lag da, oder du hast es gerade geschrieben, oder du hast es nicht ganz mitbekommen. Aus dem Glas. Früher Flasche, weil ich dachte, dann bleibt die Kohlensäure länger drin. Jetzt aber im Glas, weil ich das Gefühl habe, in der Flasche geht die ganze Kohlensäure so irgendwie zusammen und dann habe ich nur noch Schaum im Mund, wenn ich aus der Flasche trinke. Im Glas ist es irgendwie angenehmer, dann kann das Bier so auch ein bisschen atmen und in die anderen Seiten entfliehen. Ja. Und Weizen sowieso immer aus dem Glas. Das geht nicht aus der Flasche. Wie Sangria. He's my friend. Okay. Did you bring Al with you? No, She breaks off suddenly, hand tightening around her stone, then starts again. Well, yes, I suppose I did bring him with me. I found him near a stream. I've been carrying him around my pocket for years. Which is it? Al doesn't want me to talk about this anymore. I just want to make sure you're all right, Rhin. Of course I'm all right. Why wouldn't I be all right? I'm far from home. I have stitches where hair should be. And everyone thinks I'm crazy. Even that man who's scared of his own, what do you call it, levy? Even he thought I was crazy. She puts a hand to her head wound and squeezes her eyes shut. I don't want to ask this, but I don't want to not ask it either. Do you think I'm wrong in the head? In the head? I think you've gone through a lot. So you do think something's wrong with me? Prost, Einolom. Wassers Leben. After half a liter, also dass da schnell also bei 0,5 Liter, ja, da muss man schon Zug haben, aber den habe ich auch. Every time I have any kind of drink in my hand, I'm so focused on, you have to drink it while it tastes the best it does, so it's gone. It's really quick, and I'm not trying to prove anything, or look like I can take a beer in 10 seconds, but and I do it with every drink. I really pull it into me, because and sometimes I'm just thirsty, so when there's a drink, I drink it. Ooh, Shiroxy, that's a nice project. Are you telling me I suck, Griffin? Gute Idee, Shiroxy. Finde ich smart. No, that's not what I meant. She wraps her arms around herself and shivers in the warm air. Me too. Does everyone have gods they carry around with them? No. Usually the gods stay in the family's home. They give advice, they help with things. Must be comforting. She nods, absently running her thumb over the smooth surface of the stone. What kind of things do they help with? Well, gods, you see, they're old, so they know a lot of things because they've been around for a long time, and they tell you what they know sometimes, give you advice, sometimes they just listen if you need to talk, sometimes that's all you really need. He's good at hiding. She nods, and without noticing, she lifts up the hand with the stone in it so that she's holding it close to her heart. Some gods can help you with more than words. Al knows everything of hiding, of being small and silent. He helps me hide. He makes it so no one can find me. He keeps me safe. Ein guter alte Gothic-Wacholder, ne? I think we exhausted our conversational options with her. But there are a lot. How are you holding up? What do you think about Elegant? He's sweet and sad. Like an uncle nobody goes to visit. I'm not sad, kid. Just tired. It probably is tiring being sad all the time. And Tibia. He acts nice, but I don't think he likes me. I wonder if he really likes anybody. What a thing to say, lass. How could anyone not like you? That's the part of what I said that bothers you? Well, you're a delight, lass. And that's all I'll say on the matter. Okay. Additional questions. I think, talk about you, but we will never see her again. Goodbye. I think it's best we part. What? Why? You said you would help me. Is it something I did? It's more dangerous for you than I thought it would be. The place is unsafe. Nowhere is safe! This morning I went to piss behind a bush and it tried to eat me. Don't leave me. You can't leave me! Oh. I'm sorry, it's better this way, you'll see. Tears roll freely down her cheeks now. Please let me stay. I can get better at fighting. I can! Or whatever you need me to do. Just give me a chance and I'll show you. A chance and I'll show you. Fuck. No, Rhin, now go! She turns and runs, a trail of wet spots on the ground behind her. You can hear her choking back sobs as she goes. Then she turns and disappears. Gold tide lowered a moderate amount. Ah! Now I know why I always took her with me. Oh, you're back! Are you ready to have more adventures together? Sure, let's go. Where to? Fair enough. Okay. What's happening here? Hier nur ein Duck. Forget her and move on. Boah, Shirox, you ice cold, man. Girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but already forgotten. At least I tried to. But it's just a game. It's just a video game, and I did already take it with me the last time. So why can't I expand my subscription when I am still subscriber? You see, it's hard on you, isn't it? Why can I think every time you subscribe with Twitch Prime, it's always only for a month. So when you expand it, well, so you still can expand it. But not with Twitch Prime, I think. Your Twitch subscription, you always have to click on it, I think, every month. So yeah. Or can you expand your Twitch subscription as well? Or do you have to pay for that then? No, and you see that on the... Do you? As long as you can use the Feuerqualle, I think you're still a subscriber. You have to pay. Okay, no, then I think it's... yeah, you have to subscribe each and every month again. Gorex schickt mich, ich soll den Wein abgeben. Ey, really... It's like you're not even conscious, Annalum and Griffin. It's like you're in a dream world where I am not part of, that I'm not part of. Okay, Stichus. Title search. Unearth the buried knowledge of the sticker language in your mind. Ooh. Okay. Oh, it does damage. You turn the tides on yourself, burning away the accumulated detritus of the amnesia settled in your mind. Light flares within your vision. Mandalas dancing before your eyes, and a host of images flickers through your memory. You see yourself interacting with the stickers, exchanging hand signals, a small box between you translating your words and thoughts, forcing your muscles to react. Your muscles twitch in sympathy with these memories, and you realize that the sticker's tongue is a jumble of scent, movement, and sound. With the memory, information pours into your mind. As if a plug had been removed, the smell of granite fills your nose. As the vision fades, you realize the creature's language is yours. What's the stickers doing up here? It clicks and scents resolve themselves into words in your head. Tunnel live below, but bad claw not dig, not eat, no home, sticker family. And the scent it uses is one of desolation and abandonment. A great void within the earth. Send above ground to die. Ist immer gut, Feury. Feury. Ah. Feury. I like that. And you have me so conditioned that I grabbed my cup here just because I saw Enelum redeemed something. Of course it must be Wasser ist Leben. But it's not Wasser ist Leben for a change. But now that I said it, I bet your sweet ass, man, that you're gonna click on Wasser ist Leben in 5, 4, you see? Enelum, der geht auf dich. What the fuck? I am speechless, Griffin. I have no speech. Wow, Griffin. Ich bedanke mich erst einmal von mir selbst. Krass, Kollege, was du da abgezogen hast. Geiler, krasser Scheiß. Muchas gracias. Many thanks. Domo arigato. Merci. Und mehr weiß ich nicht. Grazie. Aber das ist ja fast wie Spanisch und Italienisch. Und ansonsten auch im Namen aller anderen, die vielleicht das mitbekommen. Aber es hat auf jeden Fall auch die richtigen getroffen. Das ist so krass. Wahrscheinlich. Wie macht man das denn, Griffin? Hast du dir die ausgewählt oder hast du einfach gesagt, die am meisten irgendwas haben? Boah. Ach so. Oh ja, dann fühlt euch ertappt, sorry, aber guten Tag an alle, die zuschauen und aber einfach nur so im Chat hinten sind. Ich tue einfach so, als wärt ihr nicht da. Yes, that's what I thought too, Shiroxy. That would be... And I mean, it's good that it's the way it is. I'd say. That if you already subscribe, why do you need another subscription? Boah, okay. Also zusammen mit deinen Wasser ins Leben und dem jetzt hier bin ich so aufgeregt, ich muss unbedingt jetzt eben in die Pipi-Pause. Bis gleich wieder. Vielleicht habe ich bis dahin dann auch verstanden, was hier abgegangen ist. Bis gleich. Ihr seid ja verrückt! Boah. Enno, auch an dich genauso. Krasser Typ. Auch dafür danke. Boah. Okay. Let's continue after this shocking revelation of niceness, love, and friendship. We have a game to play here, folks. So, what are you doing here, Stichus? Tell me again why up here. Ah, okay. We are sent up here by the other sticker? Why? It holds up its malformed claws. Not good. Presses its shell, which bends like leather. Soft like grub. Not strong. Not dig. Not eat. No worth. Trash. Rubble. Not even null tunnel. What do you eat? It makes a digging motion, dragging his claw against the ground, then with his other fans his stubby talons like someone miming a bright flash. Dig makes sparks, eat sparks, not dig, not make sparks, not eat, hunger. Don't you starve? It points down the alley. Baby brown grub feet. It shows you a heap of small electrical devices, all drained of energy. Spark shells, spark tubes. It points to itself and smells of flint and steel. Eat! Its scent is gratitude. Ah, I guess the 3 children down here at Cliff's Edge are bringing him batteries. Or something like that. Are you responsible? It nods and chitters. Sticker no care grub homes break. No dig, sticker die. Not dig, no claws, no grub home break. What are you doing in this garbage dump? Yellow shell grub steal. Leave here. Grub sind, glaube ich, People. Yellow Shell Grub ist wahrscheinlich der Lord Wandken mit seiner gelben... is probably Lord Wandken with his yellow skin, who's a part Yovoki, which are abhumans, bad mutants. And who leads the commoners here against the charge against the sticker. It emits a fierce scent of rotten air and underwater floods. Not speak dangerous. Are they all looking for you? It waves its deformed claw in affirmation. The scent of mud, sadness, wafts from it. Okay, so you seem to know exactly what you could hear the cogs grinding in my mind, trying to decipher what the hell they are talking about. And yes, Dick is penis. Dick, cock, schlong, schwanz. Those are penis words. Yes. A man with a yellow shell left you in Cliff's Edge. Did you mean a man with yellow skin?
I'll remember that.
Its odor becomes strong, hard rock, mixed with veins of ancient metals. Intense affirmation. Okay. Farewell. Safe return.
Fine.
Prost, Enno. Yeah, there's still some water in there. And Prost to Roxy. You're drinking with me. Or are you shitting me? Can I just drink my cup and it's fine? Yes? May I do that? Mwah. Der ging auf euch. Please don't make me go. Yeah, maybe I should put a limit on there. Yes, I'll remind myself here. Twitch limit commands. Maybe just one every minute. That should be enough. Or 10 seconds even. Zebb. Ooh, or 3 per person. Yes, 3, but okay, yes. The boy salutes you. Good to see you again, sir. How can I help you? Does anyone else live back here? There used to be a lady who lived next door, a nano-sorceress, but she disappeared a while back. And there was a family 2 doors down. We heard them screaming on the night their house fell into the sea. My sister Nim was friends with that little girl. Anything else about the area? Hardly anybody comes through here anymore. It's nice and quiet, I guess. Better than the rest of Cliff's Edge. I know my voices jump around and are not really consistent with each character, but hey, I don't get paid for this, so... Oh, I do! Now I do! Thank you! Again, Griffin and Enno. Lord Wundgen. This was one title affinity. Yes, the other was Loss of Self. Ah, I'm glad when we have these two... When I fix my mistakes. Okay, Loss of Self. So much water. Ah. Gut mitgedacht, Enno. Her hands cradle her flushed temples like a crown, and her eyes are closed. Still, she manages a humorless smile as you approach. Good, you're back. Talk loud, it eases the pain. Can I look at that shining vial of yours again? Alright, she says dully, grimacing. Why is it so important to you? She feels better holding it. Maybe she shouldn't hold it. Okay, give me that vial. You shouldn't be holding on to such a dangerous weapon. I promise I'll keep it safe for you. Deception. You are the deceptive one, aren't you? Tibia? 85% should suffice. Ooh, critical success. Yes. Her fingers tighten over the vial, then loosen. All right, she says, looking desperately unhappy. Still, she seems somewhat relieved when she hands it over. Star's Kiss. It's an artifact, okay. This vial of viscous fluid belonged to Loss of Self until you persuaded her to give it to you. Someone has added straps to the device so it can be attached to an arm. The fluid is a single protective consciousness in a liquid form, though you do not know what form it may have had before. The glass-like material of the vial can turn porous when needed, allowing the fluid to flow out. It will try to protect you from incoming attacks, forming a bright silvery shield that flings incoming forces back toward their source. Ooh, cool. I forgot what's the deal with the Loss of Self. And I don't know if it was nice to take this shield off of her. Who can use it? 15 evasion. Well, can you even use it, bro? Isn't it a... I thought it was a two-handed weapon. It's not. Okay. Is this two-handed? What about you? Yes. One or the other. Okay. So, let's go to Elegant. Good. Loss of self. Tormented Levy. Finzen. We've done quite a lot. The only thing we will maybe do now is talk to Lord Wandgen about the Stichus. And after that, this might be the end of our stream today. But Griffin, we have only 3 minutes left. You have to steal the sword of the Elf Queen. Where's the Elf Queen? Anno. Okay, Griffin. Affentheater, it goes 10 minutes, doesn't it? And you can choose... No, the next 5 minutes. Everything's allowed as long... Yeah, you can press on the Flämmchen button and it will tell you. What should I do, dear people? Then after the Affentheater, I will... This might be the end of our stream. You can choose anything I should do as long as it's embarrassing. Pretty much. He smiles as you approach him again. The likely one is back. Have you found the Stichus yet? Tell me about the Stichus. Something else? My girlfriend? That's the Elf Queen. Ah, okay. Sing something. Oben ohne? Is this allowed? On Twitch? It might be allowed if it's... If you're a dude, isn't it? Singen oben ohne. What should I sing? Or just sing every word in here. I know where the Stichus is. It's in the dump behind the fifth eye. You mean like that? Alle meine... Uff. I don't know Alle meine Entchen in English and I don't know the Priscilla song. I could try to badly translate Alle meine Entchen into English. All my ducklings are swimming on the lake. Swimming on the lake, you mean? Like this? But for 5 minutes, the song is not that long. I wish by R. Kelly? It's time to say goodbye. Oh, I'm really bad at songs. Or getting to know the lyrics. I always have... Ja, ne? Oben ohne ist, glaube ich, okay. Gut. Okay, okay. I need a beat. I need a beat, yo. I try to hear Little Ducklings lyrics. With Spanish? Ah. There's the text. Okay. I will just have Torment of Numenera in my Hintergrund. In my Hintergrund. And undress myself like some... Ooh, I... All my little ducklings swimming in the lake, heads dunk in the water as little tails do shake. All my little doves cooing in the eaves, one flies up away and then another leaves. All my little chickens scratch about in straw, finding yummy seeds, they chuckle and guffaw. All my little geese waddle to and fro, seeking some nice splashy pond to fatten as they grow. All my little froggies hop hither and yon, crying out quite loudly, croaking on and on. All my little, all my dollies, Susie and Mary, sleep now in their cradle, till they wake with me. All the children dance the hour. It doesn't rhyme. Fuck it. All the little children dance the hours away, prancing filled with joy throughout a summer's day. No, I don't have a tattoo. Yes, and I have a very männliche Brustbehaarung, and it's not the only place. We need a clip. Yes, you're right. We do. Are you on it, Shiroxy? I'll just get dressed again. It's not easy to untangle this beast. I hope Cutie Cat doesn't tune in now and wonders what the hell I was doing here. Gah! So, now that that's out of the way, maybe it might even be a highlight, not only a clip. I think I've done my part. I hope you are happy with the finished product, Anulum. Oh no, Griffin. This was our Torment Numenera stream today. And we will talk to Lord Wandken and concern ourselves with the sticker the next stream on next Sunday, 10 to 13 or 10 to 1 a.m. p.m. You know what I mean. Sehr gut, Griffin. Sehr gut. And thanks again, Griffin and Enno, for doing all that you did, subscribing, gifting out subscriptions, and all that jazz. Enno, you're streaming today at 14 Uhr, richtig? Eigentlich ist da nichts mehr drin, aber eine kleine Pfütze. Hier, als Beweis. So. Ich hab dich nicht verarscht. So. Ich gehe jetzt nicht nochmal los. Ich sag jetzt Tschüss. Ich gehe jetzt nicht nochmal los und mach meinen Becher voll. Manchmal muss man auch klare Regeln aufsetzen. Keine halben Sachen. Ne. Hier kriegst du gleich wieder die Flämmchen. Aber ich werde auf jeden Fall einstellen, dass das vielleicht nur noch einmal pro Minute oder so geht. Ach, du machst jetzt schon an, Enno. Okay. Ja, dann schaue ich doch gleich mal vorbei. Alle anderen, die auch bei Enno zuschauen möchten, können das tun. If you want to watch Enolum streaming just now at Gothic 2, die Nacht des Raben. But it will be in German. So I don't know if you will understand everything, but I guess you will, because I think So far, I haven't got a new or a viewer from who's not from Germany, even though I am streaming in English now. But still. Okay. Adios, muchachos, muchachas. Bis dann, Shiroxy. Bis dann, Griffin. Bis dann, Enolum. Mittwoch noch Gothic. Donnerstag, Shantae, Riski's Revenge. Wednesday, Gothic 2. Thursday, Shantae, Riski's Revenge. And... No. Wednesday, Gothic 2, Night of the Raven. Thursday, 9 Parchments, not Shantae. Falscher Alarm. And Sunday still Torment of Numenera. Ich mach das jetzt nicht, Griffin. Ich mach das jetzt nicht. Ich gebe dir gleich die Flämmchen wieder. So, tschüss. Ich habe keine Lust, noch für die letzten 2 Minuten nochmal in das Badezimmer zu laufen, um mir diesen Becher aufzufüllen. So. Bis dann, ihr beiden, 3, alle. Tschüss. Ich habe euch trotzdem lieb.